Today, President Biden proposed 2 debates against Donald Trump, and Trump immediately accepted. Meanwhile, a bunch of MAGA weirdos and wannabe running mates traveled to New York to appear with Trump at his criminal trial. For more on this, it's time for a closer look. For some reason, Trump thinks it will work to his advantage to debate Joe Biden on national television, despite the fact that when they debated in 2020, it was an embarrassing cluster in which Trump behaved like a coked-up raccoon trapped in a porta potty at Coachella.
They will, under my proposal.
It's not what you've said, and it's not what your party has said.
And so we have to be engaged.
That's not what they're talking about, Chris.
We have the highest trade deficit
China
with
ate
Mexico.
your lunch, down 18%. China ate your lunch, Joe.
He said maybe we should drop a nuclear weapon on them. They may.
I never said that.
Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you got it.
Not militia. If he just stay out of the way.
Look here. Oh, really?
Here,
oh, really?
This guy.
I want to see an honest ballot cut.
He's just afraid of counting the votes because
you're wrong. You're wrong.
I want to continue with you on this, Vice President Biden.
Chris, he's so wrong when he makes a statement like that. You didn't want me to ban.
All right, gentlemen,
which was heavily.
Mr. President,
you would have been much later, Joe.
Mr. President,
much later,
sir.
Chris, that was the worst part of Obama.
Let me ask my question.
Well, I'll ask Joe.
Mr. President,
even the people who testified.
No, go ahead. No. Mr. President,
$3.5 million, Joe.
No. Sir, stop. Wait a minute. Mr. President, no, Mr. President. No.
Can I be honest? It's a very important question.
Try to be honest.
He stood up.
No, the answer to the question is no.
Trump thinks that made him look good. The only context in which that behavior makes sense is in a commercial for a drink called Act Like a Monster Energy. Even Mike Lindell saw that, was like, whoa, you sound crazy. The moderator of a nationally televised debate had to yell no at the sitting president like a flight attendant telling a drunk passenger he can't go in the cockpit. No, you cannot go in there. But I need a bathroom. Sir, that is not a bathroom. That is the cockpit. Yeah, but I need a bathroom real bad. The bathrooms are occupied and you need to wait. Should I go to the bathroom in the cockpit? No! So Trump thinks repeating that performance is the key to winning in November. By the way, I'm not going to sit here and pretend Joe Biden is in tip-top shape either. This is when you really wish there was a way Obama could tap in for Joe at the debates. Maybe do it like one of those surprise wrestling appearances where he walks into loud music and pyro. And then Trump makes a shocked face like one of those Vince McMahon memes. Obama would do that move where he starts writing something while Trump was answering, and Trump would lose his mind. What are you writing? Are you writing something about something I said? Is he allowed to write while I'm talking? Shouldn't he be listening? Oh, I can listen and write at the same time. Oh, you can? I don't know how to do that. This is bad. So is Biden a debate all-star? No, he's not. Every time he answers a question, I'm going to white-knuckle my armchair like I'm watching Tom Cruise ride a motorcycle off a cliff. Because I don't know if you guys know this, he does his own stunts. But even with the occasional slip-up from Biden, there's still no comparison. Trump is a snarling psycho who just last weekend at a New Jersey rally referred to Hannibal Lecter as the late, great Hannibal Lecter. So he both likes Hannibal Lecter and also thinks he's dead, despite the fact that he's both not dead, not real, and also a very bad guy. Although who knows with Trump? Maybe he was using late not to mean dead, but to mean not here yet. The late, great Hannibal Lecter, who was supposed to be here today, is probably got caught in turnpike traffic. I'll tell you this, though, if Hannibal honks at you, don't give him the finger, because he'll bite it right off. He'll bite your finger right off. He's a dear friend. So watching these two square off isn't exactly going to be Ali versus Frazier. It's going to be more like watching your grandpa try to catch an alligator in a garbage can. And if at all possible, we probably shouldn't air it internationally. I feel like other countries are going to watch this and say, they have 330 million people, right? I don't know. It's just weird that it's those two. But the contrast Biden will benefit from on stage is that he's normal for his age and Trump is not normal for any age. Like, what's a good age for a kid to think Hannibal Lecter is real dead and a cool dude? Also, you think a guy facing 4 separate criminal indictments who attempted a coup, got impeached twice, oversaw a net job loss and a spike in crime, cheated on his wife with a porn star, and left the nation in crisis after letting a pandemic spiral out of control, would want to avoid a debate. Hell, if I so much as did one of those things, I would want to avoid ever being seen in public again. The only thing I've ever paid hush money to cover up is my college haircut. But I guess not enough hush money. Oh, no. Guess what? All jokes aside, what I wouldn't give to have you back, baby. Where you go, baby? Where'd you go? And yet Trump has been obsessed with debating Biden.
Former President Trump is calling for debates with President Biden ahead of the general election. He posted this on Truth Social. Anytime, anywhere, any place.
How many debates would you commit to?
As many as necessary. I would like to do it starting now. I'm calling on Crooked Joe to debate anytime, any place. We'll do it anywhere you want, Joe. I've invited Biden to debate. He can do it anytime he wants.
It's really quite something to challenge your opponent to a debate anytime, anywhere, any place while you're standing behind barricades at a mandatory court appearance for your criminal trial. You sure you got that much flexibility in your schedule, bro? I challenge Crooked Joe to a debate anytime between 12 and 12:45 p.m. when we have our lunch break. Also, I challenge Joe to bring me a meatball sub because the food here stinks. Trump is so thirsty for a debate, he even brought an empty podium to a rally to dare Biden to join him.
We have an empty podium right here to my right. You know what that is? That's for Joe Biden. I'm trying to get him to debate.
I like that Trump's gimmick is an empty podium, like that's somehow going to work on Joe Biden. The only person that would work on would be Donald Trump. I bet we could just get rid of him forever by putting an empty podium out in the woods with a bunch of cameras pointed at it. Trump tried a bunch of silly gimmicks, but in the end, it was clearly Biden who came out ahead here. He got everything he wanted. They even reportedly agreed that no audience would be present at the debate. I don't need to tell you that Trump thrives when he's screaming over a live audience. Biden getting Trump to agree to no audiences is like getting a vampire to agree to fight you at noon on the beach during the Garlic Festival. But Trump doesn't seem to care. He wants it so bad that at one point Trump even invited Biden down to the courthouse to debate him at his criminal trial.
I've invited Biden to debate. He can do it anytime he wants, including tonight. I'm ready. Here we are. I invited him to the courthouse.
Maybe you could have gotten Biden to come if you let him sit on the jury. Biden seems like the kind of guy who would jump at the chance to sit on a jury. This is the same guy who sat behind Obama at the State of the Union and acted like he was Frankie Valli in Atlantic City. He's doing the most mundane procedural there is, and he looks like he just completed his third ride on King Ka. He loved jury duty. Seriously, though, you really expect Biden to come down to the courthouse? Only a truly pathetic loser with nothing better to do would fly to New York for the sole purpose of joining Donald Trump at his criminal trial for paying hush money to a porn star.
Donald Trump's allies were out in force today at the courthouse in downtown Manhattan. Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, making an appearance as well.
It's a show of support for Donald Trump. Republicans vying to be his running mate turned out in force at his trial today. They even seem to have coordinated their outfits. Dark suit, white shirt, red tie.
Michael Cohen, who has no credibility, who has purged himself multiple times, who has zero integrity, has actually admitted to defrauding the Trump organization.
Why are they all dressed the same? Did their luggage get lost and they all bought the same Donald Trump costume from Spirit Halloween? Showing up to work wearing the same thing as your coworkers is everyone's nightmare. Of course, if you see it on Instagram, they pretend to love it. These guys should have posted a pic that said LOL twinsies. So Biden showed some impressive self-restraint and ignored Trump's irresistible offer to join him at the Manhattan courthouse. But then today, Biden issued his own debate, invitation to Trump, with a video that also mocked the fact that Trump's criminal trial is not in session on Wednesdays.
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
Well, joke's on you, Joe. He's actually not free on Wednesdays because that's when he preps for his other criminal trials. Trump then immediately jumped to accept that invitation with a weird line that I guess was supposed to be a zinger.
Former President Trump spoke with Brooke Singman at Fox News Digital exclusively, and here's what he said. Crooked Joe Biden is the worst debater I have ever faced. He can't put 2 sentences together. He said the dates in June and early September are fully acceptable to me. I will provide my own transportation.
I hear you're free on Wednesdays. I'll provide my own transportation. This is like a production of Bring It On at a men's-only old-age home. I'm so glad you guys are having so much fun with this because I'm losing my here. Joe Biden may not be the most gifted debater in history, but he has the advantage of standing on stage next to a man who is fundamentally incapable of behaving like a normal human being. When he's outside the confines of one of his rallies, Trump's behavior is very obviously off-putting and weird. The only way Trump can avoid embarrassing himself is if his team replaces him with
an empty podium.
This has been A Closer Look.